Shalom, shalom, brothers. This is Apostle Ricard back once again with another impromptu video. Let me adjust my camera, Salakia. Just trying to get it just right. Okay, just adjusting the camera here. You know, Satan always got to do his little folly. All right. I say all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. This video is going to be very similar to the last one I just did because we can never talk about this enough. The title of this video is Woe to Him That Builds by Wickedness, this devil, because that's the time we living in now. And then the same thing with this video, sometimes, man, you might bring out a few scripts. I'm just going to read one precept. Now, we in the book of Habakkuk, the second chapter for this video, you see, because it's time we got to keep, this is our job to prophesy, man. Keep prophesying Esau's downfall. This devil's going down. That's why they messing with us. That's why they mess with the videos. That's why we being attacked by the spiritual demon Satan, because this truth, which the spiritual demon Satan, he doing his job. He doing what he was created to do. Okay? He's in order. The spiritual demon Satan and the demons, they in order. Their job is to fuck with our heads and try to get us to, they doing what they do. But in real talk, Esau's in order too. He's being the devil, what he was created to do. Remember, the scriptures talk about the potters have power over the clay to mold it. The Most High, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, they molded Esau into what he was supposed to be, the master of disaster on this earth in the physical realm. Anyways, okay, this devil did a lot of wickedness. How did the white man get this land? He stole it, America, which we know now as Babylon the Great. Okay, you may know it as North America, Canada, and the Americas, the Caribbean. They came over here on boats, right? And they started a campaign of genocide against the native people that were here in the so-called Americas, as the white man called it, right? A campaign of genocide against our people, against some of our ancestors, right? Then they brought the so-called Negroes over here, put them in captivity, and then messed them all up, messed their minds up, right? That's why so-called black people today are all messed up in the head, traumatized, which we're all traumatized. Okay, all of our people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're traumatized, man. Of course, after hundreds of years of slavery, you think we and genocide, we just gonna be normal, regular people? Our children and children, like, oh, come on. And this devil has not stopped. He never truly reimbursed the so-called Negroes for captivity, right? The reason this devil got his kingdom set up the way he did, you damn right. Fuck, we gonna hold on to the slavery card, man. Negroes toiled for goddamn 500 years over here, building up this kingdom. It was a so-called black man, Benjamin Banneker, who designed the White House, where the damn president sits, right? Matter of fact, he designed all of Washington, D.C. That was a jig. But you see what I mean? And we used to have a book years ago called Black Inventors. It was back in the One West days. I'm pretty sure there might be some brothers out there, primarily I'm thinking maybe some of the elders or maybe even Apostle Tahar himself or one of the other apostles, they might still have that book. See, back in the days, in the One West days, you know what I'm saying, we had all them different books, man. We had the Russian icons book. We used to go into all that. Nature Knows No Color Line, Babylon Timbuktu. I used to have them books. I used to have Babylon Timbuktu, but once again, that was back in the 90s. I don't know where in the world that book would be now. Long gone. But we used to have the books, man. We went into the history. Because even our elders, our leaders, they had all this information. When you went into school, remember, this is back in the 90s, early 90s in New York City, we had access to the stuff for that moment in time. Because brothers knew we used to go to that's back when you go to the bookstore, you know, you go to Barnes and Nobles. That's when they had the mansion. I don't even know if they even still got bookstores anymore. Yeah, man, up there in New York, we used to go down into Greenwich Village because they had Barnes and Nobles, and you could find these books. Or right up there where the school was in Harlem, up in One West, Oh man, that's back when Harlem was Harlem. You could walk up the strip. You just walk all up 125th. Even you walk right past the Apollo, and they had all them street vendors out there. Them Hamites was out there, but Jake was out there. The Muslim. I mean, yo, man, it was a hell of a time. That was a particular time in history. You know, the early '90s in New York City up there. But anyways, you had so-called Muslim brothers out there with tables, other regular Jakes. You had them Hamites out there, all up where the Apollo is, all that, man. Oh man, Harlem back then was a what you call it? It was a tourist attraction because you would go up there and you'll see Edomites and other nations. Remember the Apollo, that whole area, and I believe it still is to this day. It's still, when you go up there now, the last time I was there, it's still kind of active. That's like a tourist attraction place, 125th. You know, the Apollo, because the Apollo's there, you know? But back then, boy, it was on fire back then. It was like an outdoor club, or I mean, all kind of people would be out there. It was like excitement. It was a different time. But you had all kind of tables from where the school was all the way up to where the A train was. There used to be I think it was a Popeye's chicken. I don't know if it's still there. And then the A train was right there. That's where it kind of ended. You know what I mean? But all up and down the whole 125th, man. You had the state building, which we used to speak in front of the state building, right? The 44th camp with me, Apostle Tahan Gabar. That whole strip was littered with, like, vendors, man, tables. So you would run up on some of them vendors, even some of them Hamites or Jake, and they used to sell books. So like back then, you had access to certain books, man. And then certain other brothers came across other books what's the other one? The 13th Tribe by Arthur Koestler. He was an Amalekite, a small hat that actually the Lord put a spirit on him to start telling the truth. And he was an Amalekite himself, but he realized he wasn't a real Jew, and he actually wrote a book. Now, I'm pretty sure there's certain brothers that still got some of those books. You know what I mean? I don't have any of them right now myself. But now, of course, they'll make it hard to try to get them books. The cops sometimes will roll up on us and steal our shit. You see? But we had these books, man, bringing out information and exposing this devil, that he stole everything. And then we talk about Esau, the so-called white man, still in America, but he stole the so-called Negroes. He stole the southern kingdom and he stole these people from another land and so-called the regions of West Africa, brought them over here. Then he stole their culture as well. Said he's a real Jew and you're just niggas from Africa, still walking around with your identity, right? Then now, you got these Edomites that's just claiming to be Gadites and Native American. A bunch of so-called white people actually walking around wearing feathers and beads and shit. And you can see, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some Gadites that might look like Edomites, because once again, see, it's not all about appearance and color. We got some brothers and sisters that might look like so-called white people, but they actually are Gadites or Reubenites. That does exist, but you could tell by the spirit. But then you can also tell, I know, okay, you could tell, man. You run into some of these hunkies, man. I'm Shawnee. I'm like, yeah, okay, man. I can read your spirit. Okay, I know a real Indian when I see one, even if he looks pale skinned. You know, the Lord blessed me with that type of discernment. I know my people, man. You know what I mean? But you got all these Edomites. Y'all know that's a going joke in the so-called American Indian community. Oh yeah, my great grandmother was a Cherokee princess, and the Cherokees had no princesses. We didn't use those titles. Okay, you see what I'm saying? But anyways, this devil stole everything, man. Europe. Now you got that devil sitting over there. He's the new king. Was it King Charles? I remember when that guy was young, when I was a kid. Princess Diana, which was his wife, which they put her ass to death because she was trying to so-called go against the grain. You know, she left him, and she was trying to be a so-called humanitarian and all that. They killed. She got with that dude Dodi. She got with the Arab dude. So that was a disgrace because she was the image of Edomite. She had the blonde hair, blue eyes, but she was a so-called humanitarian. She loved it. She was traveling all over the place, going to Africa, trying to help the unfortunates of the world. They didn't want that. And then on top of it, she left my man, King Charles, right? But he was Prince Charles back then. This was back 40 years ago when I was a kid. I remember all that. I remember when they first got married. When this dude, King Charles, married Princess Diana, right? I remember that was back in the 80s, the early 80s, mid 80s. I remember when they first got me, before they had them kids, right? But none of them are the royal family. They're all imposters. The queen, and that bitch just finally croaked not too long ago. That crow, boy, Satan kept her alive, boy. She just died like what, 2, 3 years ago? I don't remember. She just recently died. The queen. God save the queen. That old nasty, evil, blood drinking crow. That bitch just died like 2 or 3 years ago. And she been around since since the 50s. So Satan kept her, but these devils, see, but the Lord does that, because the prophecy's got to be fulfilled, right? Now I'm in the book of Habakkuk. See, all the wickedness, they stole Europe. We've been teaching this for years. They stole Americas, they stole Europe, they stole all of Russia. The real Russians are so-called black people. The real Scots and Irish were black people. William Wallace and Robert the Bruce, they were all black people, man. They were actual so-called Negroes. But Esau stole everything. So they got everything they got by wickedness. And that happened when the Borgias got up in there in Spain. That was their first real strong. Well, Constantinople fell to Esau, and in Spain, that's how Rodrigo Borgia, the father of Cesare Borgia, he got up into the papacy. He became the pope. He was like the real first Edomite pope to get up in there, but you still had Jakes, but eventually they phased Jake out. Okay, now I'm in the book of Habakkuk, the second chapter, and I'm going to read a few verses in Habakkuk, right? I just wanted to go through that little history so you can I'm painting the picture, okay? This is just like the other video. I'm just going to read a few because this is all deep, man. Habakkuk 2 and 2. Habakkuk 2 and 2. All right, let's get through this. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Now, that's the prophets, right? The prophets were the ones that wrote it down by way of the scribes that was with them, which they became prophets or were prophets, right? The vision of it, the tables, the Bible, the scriptures. That's what the scrolls. You see, starting with the tablets of the Ten Commandments, right? But the Lord gave the Most High more laws and prophecies and spirituality. The prophets and the men of the Lord, they were constantly writing and adding on to this word from the Lord himself. And that's what the prophets did. When the prophets would speak, they would speak and prophesy, and the scribes that would be with them, their scribe would write it down. And that's what it is. That's how we got the Bible today. That's how we got these scriptures, man. Make it plain. So that's why the Lord knew we were going to go into captivity if the Bible was never translated from the ancient Hebrew and even the Greek and text. I mean, even the Greek and Latin text. We wouldn't be able, the average Jake or over here or whatever, we wouldn't be able to understand the scriptures unless we learned to read the Hebrew, which we have learned. But initially, it was all, so the Lord put the Spirit on King James to actually translate it so that he knew Jake and Israel was going to come into captivity, and then Esau was going to put his English upon us. Okay, or even if you speak Spanish, you don't speak Hebrew. Right? We got a lot of brothers in the truth that's so-called Spanish-speaking brothers, but when before they came in the truth, they didn't know Hebrew. Or even if you speak a so-called American Indian dialect, you don't speak Hebrew, which really was the Lashawan Kodash, so that we could understand the Bible. A lot of them so-called American Indian dialects that we speak, that's actually Hebrew. I know because I speak the dialect. I speak my so-called language from my tribe. I'm Seminole. I speak Miccosukee. I'm so-called Miccosukee and Seminole from Florida. I can speak my language fluently, Miccosukee, and I know a little bit of Creek. You know what I mean? But when you listen to some of the words that we use, I remember I was telling Apostle Tahar years ago, he's like, yeah, that's Hebrew, brother. That sound like Hebrew. Because it is. The language that Gad and Reuben were speaking it's really Hebrew, but it's like a different diluted version of Hebrew because we was over here so long and we had to go off too. Okay, and I'm going to read the 2 and 3, Habakkuk. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and lie and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. See, and once again, shooting back to what we said, Apostle Tahar did a video last week or 2 weeks ago, and he was kind of cursing out all the guys that fell out the truth. All you guys that gave up your faith because whatever, a brother offended you or a brother did something that you perceived you didn't like or whatever it was, or you just got tired or you got pulled out by a woman, you didn't want the burdens of being in this truth. You wanted to be a family man. You wanted to live like Bill Cosby and the Cosby Show. Okay, fine. You couldn't wait. Or you guys are caught up on the 2000 thing. Yeah, man. And of course, that got put on the Apostle Tahar and us. Yeah, we did teach it. We never lied. But we learned that from High Priest Ariyah and King Marshall and Yahweh. We got that from our elders. We didn't make that up, but that got stuck on GMS. But you know what? Cool, beautiful. We accept it. We swallow it. Okay? Yeah, we said that. We taught that. But we had a school in Connecticut. Back in the days, we had it on the chalkboard, less than so-and-so, and we were looking for that, but it didn't come. But that's why I said, though it tear, I just read it. Wait, so the deliverance in our minds had tarried because it was supposed to come in 2000, but it said wait for it. But we didn't give up faith. We still kept going. We said fuck it, and we had to endure the scoffing. I thought y'all said 2000. Yeah, y'all false prophets. Whatever, man. But we still waiting. You niggas ain't waiting. Y'all scoffing. Okay? Behold, this now it's going into Esau. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Woo! See that? But you know what? That can also be twofold. That can also apply to wicked ass niggas of the 2/3 too. Because a lot of y'all got the spirit of Esau in you, man. But the just shall live by faith. So, brothers, we coming into a time where the just shall live by faith, bro. Okay, Esau gonna come down with great wrath. So no matter what we go through, we just gotta maintain our faith, man. Okay, if you ain't got faith, then you ain't fit for the battle, man. You ain't gonna make it. Okay. 5th verse. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, and neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf, and cannot be satisfied. He gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Now you know that's talking about Esau. That's talking about America. Look at all these different nations over here. That's what Esau would do. And it's the same thing that the Greeks and the Romans did. That's why you had a lot of other nations in Israel that became Hellenists and Greeks. Esau, that's Esau's thing. That's why when you go to Obadiah, it says, if the great gatherers came to thee, would they not have stolen till they had enough? Right? And Obadiah, go look it up. 1st chapter. Esau wants to steal and take. He wants the souls of men. He wants your bodies. He wants your women. He wants your lands. He wants your riches. And they can never, it's like a vampire. Bloodsuckers. They can never have enough. Vampires are real. Esau, the Edomites, man. They're the vampires of the earth. Okay? See? Neither keepeth it. Look, there's a so-called American embassy or army bases, military bases in every country all over the world. And that's the same thing the Romans and the Greeks did. That proved that them Edomites, they're the same Edomites, man. Just in a different time, different place. That right there, tell me that don't describe. And he's a proud man, which this is the precept to Obadiah. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest on the cliffs of the rock. You see? So it's talking about Esau, man. Who else could it be talking? Enlarge of his border is hell. So every land that he conquers and takes, he makes it just like America. That's why them Ishmaelites over there, them Arabs, are fighting so hard against them damn American troops and them UN troops, because they know if these devils were to totally take over their land, what's going to happen? They're going to make this place just like America. Because them other nations come over here and see, they don't want their women walking around looking like Big Shirley. They don't want their women walking around being whores and sluts and Moism, all that Mo alphabet shit. To them other nations, they're like, no, no, they're not coming over here and turning out women like them American women. Yeah, the modern American women, the single parent homes and dysfunctional kids running the streets. Nah, man, they don't want to. They're going to fight to the death to keep Esau from enlarging this border as hell. But he has done that to a lot of nations. Okay? Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his. How long? Yeah, so we always say, how much longer? The other than Yemen, they want to shoot missiles on America right now. Iran, they want to shoot missiles on America. Russia want to shoot missiles. And those are Edomites too. But the spirit that is set up with is a division. And the Bible said that if Satan be divided against Satan, how shall his kingdom stand? So the Russians, they're Edomites too. They stole too. But guess what? They're against Babylon. All right? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, meaning more wickedness upon wickedness. More wickedness. These devils are just doing more wickedness on top of more wickedness. All right? We're going to read on. Shall they not rise up suddenly? That shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. Booty, that's like spoil. So these other nations, man, including even Russia, they gonna rise up. And then all them other nations, them Arab nations, Iran, don't forget about North Korea, don't forget about China. Okay, all them countries, them so-called communist countries, they don't like this place. So they're gonna shoot missiles on America. Me and the brother did the video last week. Yemen, they want to shoot missiles on America. Okay, India has nuclear capabilities. You see? So that nuclear war judgment day as in Terminator 2 cannot be everted, man. Because that has spoiled many nations. That's Esau. Alexander came and took over all the known world, right? Alexander the Greek, then the Romans came later and followed, and then here it is, came the soap was started with the Borgias, and then the Rothschild, which the Borgias are the Rothschilds, and they just came and just took everything and stole the fatness of the earth, which that was prophecy. These devils have spoiled. They got a lot of these other nations bugged out, and they set up puppet leaders, man. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of the man's blood. That's why Esau done spread a lot of blood. So these other nations, especially the dark nations, they're going to really start coming against Esau now, man. And for the violence of the land, of the city, and all that dwell therein. Yeah, see, woe. And we know woe means destruction. So all the wickedness that you devils have spread all over the planet, y'all going to reap it. I quoted Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived, the Lord is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So you devils, that's coming for you, man. Colossians 3:25. He that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done. So Esau's going to get judged. He ain't getting away, man. The Bible is clear. All right? Woe to him that covereth an evil covetousness to his house. That's Esau. All the wickedness, man. And then on top of it, you have blasphemed the word of the Lord. That's why it says there's no forgiveness for Esau in this world nor the next. So them niggas, the 32 demons, you guys talking about Esau could be saved. You guys, GOCC, talking about Esau could be saved. Esau can't be saved. I don't care how much y'all try to save him, he can't be saved. In Revelations, it says what? But the court that is without the temple, leave out and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, man. So the Gentiles, meaning the natural Gentiles, the actual heathen, are not going to be saved. But Israelites, pursuant to Revelations, the 7th chapter, you got Israelites amongst the Gentiles that look like Gentiles. They're going to be saved if they of the elect, okay? To his house that he may be set set his nest on high. So this is the precept to Obadiah. They put their satellites, they got their space stations up there in the inner atmosphere, right? So they can monitor the earth and be like the Most High. That's why they want to chip everybody, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. See, they think they're going to go up in them space stations and shit, and their technology is going to save them. Evil means ill time. Yahweh Shai and them are coming. They're going to bring evil upon Esau by righteousness. Okay? Thou has consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul. That's right. How did Esau do that? When he blasphemed against the image and the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the main thing they did, claiming that they were the chosen people, and then the main thing when they put up that image of Cesare Borgia being the son of the Most High himself, Yahweh Shai, man. There's no coming back from that. So these guys, I'm cutting them to 32 demons. Esau ain't gonna be saved, and you guys, y'all following in the stead of Esau. See, but y'all Israelites in the kingdom, y'all be all right, but y'all gonna die. All you niggas that's blaspheming the word of the Lord, like the Bible says, and shall teach men so, for the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity. And I'm going to end it right there on that part. Habakkuk 2, 2, in the second chapter, from the second verse on down. Who did that? I started the video with that. How did the so-called white man get North America, Canada, the Caribbean? How did he get the whole planet? How did he get England? I said it. Excuse me, them devils over there are not the royal family. King Charles, the Queen, Princess Diana, those are Edomites. But they stole and murdered and Jake to get the whole planet. These devils down in Egypt, a lot of them damn, you go to Egypt today, the real Egyptians are not even there. Them Greek baby, they look like so-called Arab-looking motherfuckers, and a lot of them Arabs came up into Egypt. The real Egyptians are not occupying Egypt right now. The real Egyptians got pushed further south, down into South Africa. A lot of them Hamites, them tall, like Manute Bo and all them guys, those are the real Egyptians. The Egyptians are known for their stature, and they were dark-skinned. Them jokers, if you catch a plane over to Egypt now, them jokers over there are really Greek babies. From when a lot of them are Edomites, they kind of got like an Arab type look, but they're really Edomites. A lot of them some of them are Arabs, some of them are Edomites. And of course, you got Israel up in the mix. There's always Israelites everywhere. You see? That's what this devil did. He stole every damn thing, man. All right? But I'm going to end it on that. I pray that this video was edifying. Okay? And in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, I say Barak Kal Akim Wa Akwaf to you sincere brothers and sisters of the hopeful elect. And Abaratazai, man, as the week goes on to the next videos, man. Shalom.